Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Ascot Racecourse here on Saturday. It is October the 21st, 2017. I'm going to look at all the races on Champions Day from Ascot, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for racecourses around the world. So let's get on to it. We have 6 races to look at from Ascot, starting off with the first race, the 125. It is the British Champions Long Distance Cup. It's a Group 2 race here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $571,500. I use the American currency because it's just a little bit easier for me. This race is for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses going the 3,200 meter trip or 2 miles over the Ascot turf course. My top pick in this one, I love the number 4 horse Dartmouth. I'm going to go 4-7-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. 4-7-1 tricast trifecta. Top pick number 4 Dartmouth. 10-1 owned by Her Majesty the Queen. Sir Michael Stout trained this one. Jim Crowley gets the leg up on this 5-year-old horse by Dubawi. Most recently, this horse had to start about 6 weeks ago at the Curragh in Ireland. Soft ground, a mile 3/4 in the Group 1 Irish St. Leger. Horse finished 8th by 33 lengths that day. You know, it was a quick turnaround of 2.5 weeks for him, and he just couldn't get the good closing kick that day. Wasn't liking the ground. You know, he normally does well over wet ground, but he just didn't do well that day. I think coming here to Ascot, with his horses run well, with a little bit given to ground, I think he'll run a big one, off a little bit of a layoff also. Start before at the Ebor meeting at York, 25th of August, 2 miles in the Group 2 Lonsdale Cup Stakes. Horse finished second by a nose. Was just under 2-1 that day, was 3-1 that day, was closing up well, just missed, but it wasn't a half bad run, very good run, probably his best run of the year, but before that, Royal Ascot, 1.5 miles in the Hardwick, horse finished 4th by 3.25 lengths. That's the favorite. He just couldn't catch the winner who ran a little bit better, but I think he's better handicap for this spot because I think he should definitely get the stayer's distance. The ground should be to his liking. I think he'll run a big one. He's won once this year. That came in the Yorkshire Cup at York in mid-May. He won that race by a neck on soft ground, quickening up nicely. I think he'll run a big one here today, so he'll be my top pick. So to recap my bets for the first, the 125 from Ascot. It's the Group 2 British Champions Long Distance Cup. Gonna go with the number 4 horse Dartmouth. Couldn't go 4-7-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 2, the 2 o'clock from Ascot. The second race, it is the British Champions Sprint Stakes. Group 1 race here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $738,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 13 horses going the distance of ground of 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the turf course. Top pick in this one, I like the number 12 horse here, Quiet Reflection. Gonna go 12-9-6 in the tricast of the trifecta. 12-9-6 tricast trifecta. Top pick number 12, Quiet Reflection. Bring from the inside barrier. 6-1 Martin Harley gets the Carl Burke trained 4-year-old filly showcasing mount. Most recently, this horse had to start 24th of September at Naz. 6 furlongs in the Group 3 Renaissance Stakes. Horse won by 2 3/4 lengths. Went over to Ireland that day from the United Kingdom, and off the layoff, he just ran a hell of a race. All around great run, quickening up that day. And plus, to keep in mind, with a little bit of given to ground today, this horse really liked the soft going. I think, his last 3 on wet ground, he's undefeated. He's 3 for his last 3 on wet ground. But before that September the 24th start, you have to go all the way back to May the 27th at Haydock. Firm ground, 5 furlongs in the Group 2 Temple Stakes. This horse finished 10th by 5 1/4 lengths, and he just never showed up that day. He beat 2 horses home, but he should have really did a lot better that day off the layoff. But ran this race last year and finished 7th as the 4-1 favorite. Again, he was really running most of the race and couldn't get a good closing kick. But I think off a little bit of a layoff here today, he should have a very good run, and I think the ground should really be to his liking. At 6-1, I'm trying to beat Caravaggio. If Caravaggio wins, I'll applaud him. But 6-1 is a great price on this number 12 horse, Quiet Reflection. So to recap my bets for the second from Ascot, the 2 o'clock, it's the Group 1 British Champion Sprint Stakes. Gonna go with the number 12 horse, Quiet Reflection. Gonna go 12-9-6 in the tricast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 3, the 240 from Ascot. The third race, it is the British Champions Fillies Mare Stakes. Group 1 race here, going for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $772,000. That's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Fillies Mares only. Field of 10 horses, going the 2,400 meter trip or 1 mile and 1.5 on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 3 horse, Journey. I'm going to go 3-7-4 in the tricast or the trifecta. 3-7-4. 4, Tricast Trifecta. Top pick number 3, Journey. 5-2, Frankie Dettori gets the John Gosden trained 5-year-old mare, Debawi Mount. Most recently, his horse had to start the 10th of September at Shunti. Good ground, a mile and a half in the Group 1 Prix-Vermeil. Horse finished second by 2.5 lengths that day. Just missed off a layoff, but it wasn't a half bad run. I have to say, it was a great race. Major improvement off the start before at the Curragh. July the 2nd, mile and a quarter in the Pretty Polly Stakes. Horse finished 10th by 14 lengths. Nizwa ran a very good run. This horse was just under 2-1. Heavyweight, showed nothing. Disappointing run. You know, in the Coronation Cup at Epsom in June, this horse finished 5th. You know, but if you go back to her races in 2016, she ran incredibly well. She only lost once in 2016, and that came in early on in the season, but she won the Group 380bet.co.uk handicap at Haydock last May of 2016, then went on to win a listed stakes in the fall, and then went on to win this race by 4 lengths last year with a wide barrier draw. I think today with a good barrier draw, a little given the ground, I think she'll run a big one, and I think Frankie will have a good day, so watch out for this horse here today. So to recap my bets for the third, the 240 from Ascot, it's the Group 1 British Champion Filly Mare Stakes, gonna go with the number 3 horse Journey, gonna go 3-7-4 in the Tricast of the Trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 4 from Ascot. Race number 4 from Ascot here on Champions Day. It is the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes Group 1 race here for Class 1 horses, going for a purse of just about $1.3 million. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards, field of 15 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the Ascot turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 4 horse here, Ribchester. Gonna go 497 in the Tricast of the Trifecta. 497 Tricast Trifecta. Top pick number 4, Ribchester, 9-5. I know he's the favorite, but I think you have to pick him here. Godolphin owned. Richard Fahey trains. William Buick gets the leg up. You know, this horse has been pretty perfect this year. Last time at Chantilly in France, the 10th of September, 1 mile in the Group 1 Prix Moulin de Longchamp. This horse won by 3/4 of a length that day. Wide post ride didn't affect this horse that day. He quickened up nicely and had a very easy victory off the shelf. Before that at Glorious Goodwood, on the 2nd of August, 1 mile soft ground in the Group 1 Sussex Stakes. He didn't do that well. He finished second by a neck that day. He just couldn't quicken up. He couldn't catch the winner. It just wasn't his day to win. But over this course here at Ascot, during the Royal Meeting, 1 mile in the Queen Anne, this horse won by 1/4 lengths, was the heavy favorite, was the top. He was the top horse that day, and he won very, very nicely. And before that, in the Lockenge at Newbury, 1 mile on very soft ground in early May. Mid-May, this horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. Again, on the straight course, he ran very well. He beat most of these horses so far this year already. He has to overcome a wide poster, which I think he can. He should like the course, I think. So watch out for this horse to run a very big one. Getting regular rider William Buick back up today should really help also. So to recount my bets for the 4th, the 315 from Ascot, it's the QE2 Stakes, the Queen Elizabeth II Stakes, the Group 1 race. Gonna go with the number 4 horse Ribchester. Gonna go 497 in the Tricast of the Trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 5 from Ascot. Race 5 is featured on today's program from Ascot. The 5th race, the 350. It is the Champion Stakes, the Group 1 Champion Stakes, going for a purse of just about $1.6 million here in the American currency. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 10 horses going the distance of ground of 2,000 meters or 1 mile and 1/4 on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I think number 9 Cracksman's going to run a very big one, so he'll be my top pick. I'll go 962 in the Tricast of the Trifecta. 962 Tricast Trifecta. Top pick number 9 Cracksman. 9-5 Frankie Dettori's on the John Gosden train 3-0 colt by Frankel. This horse has had a great year so far. Frankie Dettori has never won this race, but I think he's going to get the victory in this race today. That's for sure. But like I said, this horse has had a great year so far. Most recently, the 10th of September at Chantilly in France. Good ground, 1.5 miles in the Group 2 Prix Neil Stakes. This horse won by 3.5 lengths that day. day, and a field of 5 horses. That was a walk in the park for this horse. He had a very easy race that day. His last 2 were very easy. Before that, the 23rd of August at York, very wet ground, the kind of ground he's going to be seeing today almost. A mile and a half in the Great Voltaire Stakes. Horse won by 6 lengths. Again, he just won for fun. Could have won by a dozen, but Frankie didn't want to kill the horse that day by using him to the excess. A very easy victory that day. He finished second in the Irish Derby behind Capri. He ran his heart that day, and he ran his heart on the Vestic Derby by finishing third. But other than that, he's been pretty perfect, other than those 2 slight faux pas. He won the Derby trial at Epsom in late April, and he broke his mane very nicely last year at Newmarket, going a mile. I think he'll run a very big one here today. He's the freshest horse. He has a great weight. Watch out for this one to run a big one. So to recap my bets for the race number 5, the 350 from Ascot, it's the Group 1, $1.6 million champion stakes. Going to go with the number 9 horse, Cracksman. Going to go 962 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 6, the 430. The 6th race to 430. It is the Balmoral Handicap. It's a Class 2 handicap here, going for a purse of $307,500. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 23 horses, but the 21 through 23 are reserved, so only 20 could go the distance of ground of 1,600 meters or a mile on the turf course. My top pick in this one, I like the number 15 horse, Hors de Combat. I'm going to go 15-5-10 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 15-5-10 TriCast trifecta. Top pick number 15, Hors de Combat. Tom Quealy's on the 6-year-old gelding by Mount Nelson. But before I get on to this horse, I have to say my record in this race is not very good. In the last 10 runnings, I might have hit this race about once, which is not a very good thing. It's the most difficult race because of the field size to handicap on today's program. But I think this, in the last 10 years, like I said, I think I've given out one winner of this race in the last 10 years. I think it's going to be 2 in 11 years, because I think this horse at 20-1 has a strong chance. But most recently, the 20th of September, this horse had to start at Sandown, 1 mile in the Class 1 listed stakes. Horse finished second by 3/4 of a length. Wide poster, which is not ideal. This horse got over well, just missed, but it wasn't a half bad run. It was his first start off a layoff also. July the 8th was his start before at Sandown. Firm ground, 1 mile in the Class 2 handicap during Eclipse weekend. Horse finished 4th by 2 1/4 lengths. Another wide post draw. He just missed the victory, but it was a decent 4th place finish. And then at Ascot, 1 mile Class 2 handicap on June 21st during the Royal meeting. His horse finished 13th by 5 3/4 lengths. Again, he just never showed up that day. But he's run 2 very nice races. One to begin the season at Bath, and one last time at Sandown. I think here with a little bit of given a ground, which I think this horse will really like, I think he'll run a big one. So watch out for this horse here today. So to recap my bets for the 6th from Ascot, it is the 430. It is the Balmoral Handicap. Going to go with the number 15 horse, number 15. Going to go 15-5-10 in the TriCast or the trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5.